Hi everyone and welcome back to the Most Coders. Today we are going to continue with the second part of basics of computer and its operations. So let's get started. The computers today can be classified on the basis of size, design and purpose, and I'll be elaborating all these categories. Based upon size, we have supercomputers, mainframe computers, microcomputers, and mini computers. If we talk about supercomputers, they are the most powerful and expensive computer and are huge in size. They are used for complex scientific calculations, simulations, and research. Since they have huge processing capabilities, they are used in fields like weather forecasting, cryptography, and nuclear research. They can vary in size, which means that either it can be a very large computer or it can be small clusters of computer creating a supercomputer. In order to understand the basics, this much information about supercomputers is enough. If we move to the next category, that is the mainframe computers, they are smaller in size as compared to the supercomputers, but still they are large and powerful and expensive in nature. They have the capability to execute many programs concurrently or simultaneously. They are used by large organizations like banks, airlines, or government agencies as they have the capability to process a huge amount of data and they can handle multiple users simultaneously. So you can see these systems actually never going down. This is due to the huge capability of mainframe computers. This include computers like IBM Z series and Unisys ClearPath. The next category we have is that of microcomputers or personal computers, PCs as we know and use it in our day-to-day lives. They are designed for individual use and they are distinguished or they stand out due to their compact size, their processing power capabilities, they allow internet connectivity, they are portable in nature, which means that it can be transferred from one place to another. They have low prices as compared to super and mainframe computers and are versatile in nature, which means they can perform a huge number of functions. So we can say microcomputers are nothing but small portable computers. And its examples, it includes desktops, standard PCs, mobile phones, notebooks, and in fact your tablets. The last category is the mini computers, which are much smaller and less powerful in size. They have mid-size multiprocessing capabilities but still give high performance and options of connectivity, portability and versatile features. Its examples include Honeywell 200 and TI 990. If we talk about based on design, the computers can be classified into three categories, that is analog, digital and hybrid. The analog computers are the one which process the data generated by ongoing physical processes and has continuous data. This kind of computers, they represent the physical quantities very efficiently. So the physical quantities can be sound wave, light wave, and they have a continuous wave-like signal. An example of it can be a thermometer which has the capability to measure the change in the mercury level continuously. And another example can be simulations in aircrafts or nuclear power plants. The analog computers are also good at solving the differential equations. Moving on to the next category, it is the digital computers. The modern computers today are capable of processing the information in discrete form. Okay, so what is discrete form? It can be the data in the form of letters, symbols or numbers, and everything is represented in the form of zeros and ones using discrete distinct values. So we will learn more about this in future, but it is like a binary representation of numbers. The digital computers today are very well used in industrial, business and scientific applications, and they have the capability of processing large volume of data. The main components of this include input, processing and output, as we've studied in the previous lectures as well. While analog computers were good at solving differential equations, the digital computers are good at performing arithmetic calculation and performing complex data processing and manipulation tasks. By this we mean inputting a large amount of data and manipulating it in a way so that we can yield some useful information. The next category or the final category is that of hybrid computers, which, as the name suggests, uses a combination of analog plus digital. Okay, so it has the speed of analog computers and the accuracy of digital computers. It can accept either analog or digital format as input, but it needs to do a lot of conversion from one signal to another. Hybrid computers are used as cost-effective measure for complex simulations. So wherever we need to make the best out of the analog and digital computers, we can use a hybrid computer. The third category is based on purpose, and it can be of two types: general purpose computers and special purpose computers. As the name suggests, general purpose computers are designed to perform a wide range of tasks and functions. It is versatile and can be used for different applications. How? By running different softwares and applications. On the other hand, a special purpose computer is designed and optimized for specific task or set of tasks. It is designed to excel at a limited set of functions so that it has a high degree of efficiency, speed and accuracy. Example, the ATM machines are designed to perform only their intended function, and so are the spacecraft computers. The next topic we have is peripheral devices. The word peripheral means extreme ends, right? So the devices that are connected to computer on its extreme ends for input and output are known as peripheral devices. These devices are used to perform specific functions and connected to computer externally, as I just explained. These devices, they help the user to interact and specify their requirement by feeding the data in and out of the computer. So the peripheral devices can be input and output devices. For the reference, I have included the input devices on the left hand side and output devices on the right hand side. The input devices can include a keyboard, a mouse, a light pen, an optical or a magnetic scanner, touchscreen devices, microphone for voice input and trackball. The output devices on the other hand can be a monitor, or its other name is VDU or visual display unit, printers, plotters, which are basically large printers, and speakers. Next is a very important topic, that is the difference between RAM and hard disk. So before citing the differences, we need to understand both of these terms. So both of these are types of memory. RAM stands for random access memory. As we know that CPU performs processing and different kind of operations, and it certainly needs certain amount of data on which it needs to perform those operations. So that data is provided by RAM to CPU, as they have a direct connection, and that data changes on continuously. So that is a kind of a temporary memory or volatile memory. On the other hand, a hard disk is a more permanent storage or non-volatile storage which keeps data as long as it is not deleted from its memory. So the data that you store on your device or systems is basically stored in a hard disk. If we move toward the differences between RAM and hard disk, the very first difference is that RAM is an electronic device and hard disk is an electromechanical device, which means that we need to understand that electronic devices are faster in nature and electromechanical devices are comparatively slower in nature, which makes RAM faster than the hard disk. CPU is also an electronic device, and so a direct connection between a CPU and a RAM is formed via a bus, or these connections are known as buses. Since hard disk is an electromechanical device, so no such direct connection between CPU and hard disk is possible. So we have already understood that RAM is faster in nature. RAM is a type of volatile memory, which means that it can be accessed directly and quickly by CPU. And it also helps CPU to perform fast data processing and perform multiple tasks at a time. At the same time, hard disk is a non-volatile or permanent storage which is slower than our random access memory. It is used for long-term storage, that wherever we need to preserve the data, even when you turn off your systems, this data is still preserved. However, this data is not preserved when your system is turned off. It is a very important difference. And the same is mentioned here in the last point as well. Going forward, we would be learning about basic computer operations and terminologies. The first one we have is booting up. Booting up is like getting ready. It is the process of starting up the computers by loading the operating system into memory. The computer, it runs a series of checks including checking your hardware and driver in order to ensure that everything is ready and set to go. The second is logging in. So once your system is booted up, you need to access your account by entering your credentials, including your username and password. The third is running a program. A program can be anything. It can be a web browser, it can be an office application like Microsoft Word, or it can be media players. Once you log in into your computer, the programs can be run on your system. The fourth is accessing data, wherein you can access your stored data that you have present in your system, or you can also access external hard drives, or in fact the cloud storage services as well, wherein the data can be files, documents, photos and other media as well. The next is connecting to internet, which we all are quite aware about. So wherein you can access the websites, you can download the files or communicate with the people, other people present online. It typically involves a web browser, or in fact in today's world it basically involves some sort of applications that you download on your mobile phone. The next terminology is communicating with other devices. We can communicate with the devices connected to computers with the help of peripheral devices or input-output devices that we earlier talked about. Next is saving and backing up of your data, which should be done regularly in order to avoid any data loss. You can save your data to your hard drives, your external hard drives or cloud storage devices to back up your data from any sort of loss. The next is shutting down. Whenever you've finished using your computer, you should shut it down. This can be done by closing all the programs and files that are opened, saving any changes that you require, and then shutting down your operating system. The next is troubleshooting, which means to troubleshoot or diagnose the problems or issues that your computer is undergoing. It can involve diagnosing hardware and software issues. You can need to perform updates or reinstall your drivers. The next is security, wherein you should keep your data and information secure by using antivirus softwares, firewalls, and using other security measures which helps you to prevent from unauthorized access to your system. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, The Most Coders. Until next time, happy coding.